Hi guys, it's the Kwanza ladies back at it again. I know you missed us. We missed you too.
So today, what are we talking about? Cynthia is going to be telling us all about her experience with somebody who knows all too well
Male privilege.
I'm going to be talking about being petty because I had the craziest story, and I just want to tease and test you guys and find out how petty are you and how petty are my fellow Kwanza ladies.
I've been doing this thing called 30 days of minimalism.
Say it again.
30 days of minimalism.
I honestly do not feel that a word that describes minimalism
should be that long and that cumbersome.
I was very honored to meet this young gentleman who had come into the country to exploit some opportunities. And as we got to talking, he was telling me about the number of friends he was able to meet in Uganda. You know, everybody's always like, oh, Ugandans are so friendly, you know, they're welcoming, they're hospitable. And I agree, we really are, like, compared to most countries.
Definitely.
However, in my experience, being here, like, all of my life, it's usually difficult for me to, like, make friends and, like, connect and socialize. Like, obviously, if I meet someone, I'll say hi, and that's it. If we spend a longer time together, maybe we'll talk for a brief period of time.
Yeah.
He's only been here twice, and for like 2 weeks he kept going to like events, and he was going to dinners almost every day. And I'm like, you've only been here, you know, twice, and for some reason you have all these friends.
Are we in the same country?
Exactly. And I'm like, who are these people? Like, I could literally make one new friend like in 6 months.
Really?
Right?
In 3 years.
What?
Yeah,
guys.
So,
Yeah.
as in, obviously there's a character thing where you're either outgoing or you're a bit held back or
I
whatever.
think that has a lot to do with it as well.
But he did quickly add that obviously the difference between me and him would be that he's not as self-conscious in terms of who he gets to know and how he socializes because of male privilege, right? Like, if he's talking to someone, he's not worried that the person has any intentions or, you know, planning on
Dragging them and taking them home.
Exactly. You get, like, he's free. He's free to enter a cab and go to any part of Kampala and hang out at a place and not be worried that he's gonna, you know, be diverted on the way. Because as me, I would be like, you know, like,
My life is at stake.
why did he leave his table all the way? Like, why is this Uber taking a different turn? Like, if I've only been in a country like for 2 weeks, like, I would just be like, you know, where are you going?
Very
like,
skeptical.
Exactly.
And actually, before you even make any moves, you just call people at home to just let them know, like, real quick, you guys are monitoring my moves via Google Maps, right? Like, are you sure?
UX 949 driven by George.
You know what's crazy?
You know?
Somebody recently told me a story about how they went out partying in some country in Europe where they steal organs meanwhile. But I'm not pointing fingers.
Well done.
They went partying in some country in Europe, and they got so lit that this guy got into a cab, and the cab dropped him at his hotel, and he was walking across the road. The cab guy had to jump out of the cab to go get him and be like, okay, boss, no, this is where you're going.
Oh.
And I'm just thinking to myself, if it was a female, that could have gone completely different.
The funny thing is, that's in a foreign country. Even in I still live in fear. I can't just go to a random place that I haven't been to and be comfortable and just be chill, because I'm just constantly worried. Like, what does this person want? Why are they looking at me? Oh my God, if I get a taxify or whatever car from this side, is it safe? Things like that. And I live here.
Do you feel like the fact that guys don't have to worry about things like safety and whatnot, that is what male privilege is?
Yes.
That, among other things.
Obviously,
What else is
safety
male
applies to
privilege?
everyone, because, like, you know, there have been guys who've been attacked where they shatter your windshield and all that. But that is like an obvious attack. But if a man was coming out of his home and he decides to take, like, let's say, a walk at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. in his neighborhood, his thought wouldn't be, I need to look out for someone who's staring at me too long or following me for too long. You get, which
They
is something.
do.
They?
Yeah, they do. It's just that it's not as crazy as ours. You know what I mean? The fact that he can step out at 8 p.m., that's male privilege. Me, leave my house to walk away at 8 p.m.
Maritza, what is your other... What
other
other
male privilege?
Yeah, other types of male privilege,
like,
in your opinion?
because first of all, we live in a man's world. Unfortunately, we still do live in a man's world. So things like being in a restaurant and
By yourself.
no one's going to judge you because you're a dude. If you're a
What?
chick, like
Guys, I do that all the time.
So do I, but
you
like
can do it, but then there's always a perception.
yeah, why
Some
is she
people
by herself?
Exactly.
Things like that.
Because I'm
And
single
then-
as a dollar bill.
You guy, of course. And then also traveling by yourself or even going up country or whatever. If
Yeah.
I decide to go up country on a whim by myself, questions are going to be asked.
Let me give you my opinion of male privilege. And I don't know if it applies as male privilege or it is just that guys are smarter or more hardcore. In the event that, say, you're driving, Cynthia or Maritza, and you get bumped or somebody like scratches your car or something, it is so much easier if you have a guy around negotiating for you. Have you ever noticed that? If it's just you fighting for your rights, people are not going to take you seriously. They're going to be like, anyway, it was probably her fault. That's the honest truth.
Man's
And
world.
they won't
You
even
see,
they won't even help you out or anything.
There's also now there's like another angle to that, because on the road there's also a road hierarchy, right?
So it's guys.
There's males driving, females driving, big cars, small cars,
Older
So even-
females, younger females.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you get so
It's
like,
hierarchy.
depending on.
But I get
on
what she's saying.
Because a guy
let me
in
tell
a
you.
Vitz will also not get paid. I'm just saying.
You know, I get what
But
you're saying.
no,
because
seriously, a guy in a Vitz and a woman in a Vitz, the person with the highest chance of getting paid is that guy. The woman won't. That's the
I have
honest
a
truth.
friend.
Yeah.
you will pay her.
Play.
doesn't play, but
grab
I'm
your
not saying-
keys in a second.
I'm not saying that they don't get paid. I'm just saying
It's
like
harder and
it's
it's
the
easier to
negotiations are easier. Like you'll see two guys, they'll talk it out in like 5 minutes. They'll be done. If a woman is involved, they'll first try to dilly da, be like, let me first take you to my mechanic. I don't know what. It's
I think
always
I
like
understand what you're saying, because even in
Yeah.
the workplace, that's a
That
thing.
happens.
yeah.
You know what? I do believe male privilege is a thing, and I have used male privilege to my advantage several times. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either.
You've used male privilege to your
my
advantage.
advantage several
Please,
times.
share.
How so? Stroking of the ego?
I think I'm going to go in front of the bar and fight for drinks when they're going to serve the dude first.
Obviously not.
No. So
No,
small
but are you
things like
sure?
that.
Like,
Yes.
I usually just go and be like, hi,
No,
Sabo."
no, you see, that's when they can see you.
Yeah.
Huh? If it's a crowd, you think you're going to successfully push through that crowd.
No,
and
because
buy
there are
a
people
drink.
who are taller than me. That's also
Even
tall
then.
people privilege.
It's hierarchy again. But yeah, there's situations where you just send the guy.
I hope you've thought about your pettiest moments in life. So, of the two of you, who do you think, actually, of the three of us, who do you think is the pettiest?
You should be proud. Wear the crown with pride.
The fact that was a no-brainer should
It
be
really
concerning
was.
to you.
Okay, fine.
Team Petty, what up?
So, I'm going to start with Maritza. What is the pettiest thing you've done?
Pettiest thing, and yeah, the pettiest thing I've done was in high school, and I was 14 years old. But to this day, I think about it and I was like, no, what were you doing?
What did you do?
It wasn't that severe, but on my standards and the person I was raised to be, and my personality, you guys, I'm a saint. My girl had a crush on this boy, but then the boy's friend was chasing after her. So what she was doing is leading the friend on, just so that she's not single. Yeah? So she went around telling my business. I'm like, look, if you're going to be out here telling my business to people, even me, I'm going to sell your business. I went directly to the guy who was chasing after her, who she was playing, and I assured him, I was like, by the way, this chick, you like her mob, but she's in love with your friend, and she's planning to date him as soon as you leave. And blah, blah, blah. I told the whole story, and we were very tight, me and this girl. But then in my head, I was like, if you're telling my business, why surely can I not tell yours?
Wow.
That
So did they work out? Did they break up? What happened?
First of all, it backfired on me because she was cute, and then she's like, I didn't say that.
Wow.
I didn't say that.
All that
So I was just
trouble.
like, you know what?
All that trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got played. You
I
died.
played
I think
myself.
I think that's the definition of dying in thy own movie.
And you know what's funny? To this day, that's the pettiest thing I've ever done. I've thought about petty things, but I've never actually done them. Does that make sense?
You guys are good people.
Yeah.
What's the pettiest thing you've done?
Well, I just need to put a disclaimer out there and say that it's hard out here to reserve it's hard out here to reserve social media names, right? So you know how difficult and frustrating it is when you go and you come up with this brilliant name for yourself and you want to like put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, and then you go on there and you find that it's taken, right? These days, to get a name on social media, you literally have to try like 20, 30 times before it's accepted. Some people go the extra mile and put like a one to, you know, or like a Z to just make sure that they keep their name. So I personally pride myself in having a really cool like social media name, which was TheeNinjaC. So what happened was, there were two people on social media who eventually came up, and they wanted to use the same name. One was a guy, so he was using his ninjaness, and then the other was a girl, and she was using her ninjaness, but hers had an underscore to prove to you that I was the original her ninjaness, right? Because of course underscore means she's forging. She really wanted to have the name but found it was taken. So this guy used to tweet all sorts of ridiculousness, but because his handle and my handle was similar, it reached a point where people started confusing like his tweets for mine. So what I did is like I actually asked him to take down his Twitter name. This was on Twitter originally, but even on other social media platforms, I've been doing this gradually, so watch out if you're planning to steal my name.
Wow.
I basically have people change their handles.
So you reported him? What did you do?
First I talked to him nicely, and then he kept on going. Let's just say there was like some online bullying involved, and he switched his name.
Wow. Good old online bullying to get the job done.
I know, like, guys, again, it's hard out here.
You guys.
So anyway,
this is a judgment-free space.
No, it's not. You just judged them.
I know. You really did.
No, I really didn't, because like mine are like 100 times worse.
Okay, share yours.
I don't even want to. Okay, let me tell you what. First of all, disclaimer.
Hey, here we go.
I ain't no snitch. Anyway, let me keep it PG. The pettiest thing I've done is hidden food from my siblings. You know, like, let me tell you, sometimes you be out there, somebody blesses you, you're hungry AF, and you get home and your siblings are there waiting for a handout. Like, do you know what it took me? Do you know what it took me to get this food? So, no. So I just went, put the food, like, in my bag, got home, put it in the wardrobe. Everybody's chilling. I'm like, yeah, this is a dope movie. As soon as everybody is going to sleep, going to shower, I'm like, Coast is clear. Yes.
Did they smell it from the bag?
No, they didn't smell it in the bag. It was one of those, like, it was really wrapped nicely. Put it, you know, I've been doing this for a while now. So
Experience.
Yeah. So I put it in the bag, and then when I got home and they were there watching TV, I was like, what they call them? Motos. Let me go and eat let me go and dine like a king. So anyway, as soon as they went to bed, or actually my brother went to shower, my sister went to bed, I was like, it's time to chop. So I ate my food in peace.
Isn't that
and it's not like, and to be honest, it's not happened once.
I know.
I feel like
it is
when
recurring.
people go to bed is a time when most people do that, except it's quite frustrating when it's not your food you're eating. So basically, I eat your food and you planned for it. You wake up in the morning and you can't find your food because I ate it.
Now that
Karma has never worked on you like that.
That's real. That's where sibling.
Karma has never worked on you like that.
Sibling rivalry stems from that.
People have definitely lost teeth and limbs because of doing that. When you eat your siblings' food. But let me tell you, one of the biggest fights in our I kid you not. You're wondering how extreme someone can be. I read a story actually here online about a girl who lives in Kawempe with her parents and her sister. She stabbed her sister because her sister was wearing her clothes and not washing them and not bothering to take care of them and keep them properly. So she's like, you know what, I'm fed up. So this one time she comes home and she finds her sister has disorganized her clothes, like going through her clothes and everything. She wore her dress, didn't wash it. They had a fight, physical fight, altercation. And the way I know that siblings fight, I'm pretty sure the parents didn't think it would get to the place that it got to. But this one sister grabs a knife, a pair of scissors, and stabs her sister in the neck. Now, as somebody who has sisters, who I love very much, guys, don't come for me. I have had several such fights with regarding to clothes.
Fantasies?
Fantasies?
Yeah, like fantasizing actually hurting them.
Where it stays in your head.
It stays in your head.
You
Like
kill
in
them.
the moment. Yeah, in the moment.
You
in
kill
your
them
life.
in the moment.
Continuously stabbing them in your brain.
No, I don't think it has ever gotten to a point of fantasy. Like I wanted to hurt them so bad, like, but not like kill them. You get what I mean?
I don't think,
If I
because she
kill
was,
you, then who am I going to borrow
she was
clothes
16.
from? Just kidding.
In this case,
Yeah.
the borrower is the one who
So
was
this is the only
unfortunately
reason why
killed. The one
Sandra and Samantha, this is the only reason
why you're still alive.
Because I won't have people to get stuff from. Kidding.
Because the thing is, this one was 16, right? I don't think it was her intention to kill her older sister. It really wasn't. It was just one of those things where fights get out of hand.
Heat of the moment.
Yeah, heat of the moment. Because, sometimes, like, these fights my sisters and I would have, and I'd actually think one of us is going to die.
Yeah. But the
Like,
truth.
but the fighting didn't
But say,
go past
did it ever
10.
get physical?
Always. It
Yeah,
always
two
got
of my
physical.
siblings.
But
I
then,
remember
past 10
two
years
of-
old, we weren't fighting.
I remember two of my siblings fighting to the point that one of them pulled my other sibling by the hair and she passed out.
Eh?
Yeah.
But that happens. Like when you're kids, that's why at 16 and 19, I
Yeah.
felt like that should not have been happening. When you're kids, you're just fighting because
Yeah.
you're fighting,
Yeah.
right?
But when you're-
they're damn near adults.
But
that
when you're
should not
like
have been happening.
16 and 19, it's now not just you fighting, it's also your
The
hormones,
hormones, yeah.
that are coming into
Because
play.
really,
Puberty.
I think Caesar's was a bit extreme.
Sisters were extreme.
Once you bring
and I
in,
don't
like,
think she
foreign
knew.
objects,
Yeah, I don't think
crazy.
she knew the magnitude of what she was doing in that moment. I think she was just like, let me just inflict some kind of pain, and
So
she
she
will
can
learn.
feel it.
Yes, and she will learn, and then it just really went too far. Let me tell you, I used to fight with my sisters, but when we got to a certain level, it became, and we realized that hormonal stuff was in the equation also. We are way past that now, but it just becomes about fighting with your words. That is it.
Yeah, or being
You
passive
fight
aggressive.
with your words like that. It never gets physical. It never has to be. You just go sit there and call each other names. Sometimes it goes below the belt, but at least it's something you can recover from. You get what I mean?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
like 10 years of therapy and
Nah, it's never
lots of
done.
meditation.
One thing I do want to point out though is we all have different temperaments, right?
Yeah.
And as you're growing up, if you're siblings, you always know this one's temperament, she'll get over it, she'll be fine, or this one, you can never predict what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like people should always be cautious as to how far
They
they
somebody.
push someone, because you can never know. If someone has a short temper, they could really go
all out.
all out. So you need to be careful, and also people who have short tempers need to be self-aware at a very young age and
Yeah.
know how to deal with it, because you
Exactly.
realize it continues on even when you're adult.
And sometimes it even escalates depending on the
Exactly.
situation.
And for people who have that, I know what they do is usually they take a step 1, 2, 3, they count, and then they just
walk away.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the biggest misconception about minimalism is that have nothing.
That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought with the
That's
conversation
not-
we just had right now.
That is not what minimalism is, at least not from what I'm learning. And the only reason I've actually embarked on this journey, and I think everyone should embark on this journey, is because I think it's life-changing. So far, it's just been a fad. Like, you know how we have different trends for different times, right? It's just been a fad. People living off of less, people living with less, and people hoarding a lot less.
Yeah.
I think minimalism is smart because it helps you reduce on hoarding. It's like your life is less cluttered, right? And it's not even just about the things you own, it's also about it's a mental situation, it's a mental aid. You're supposed to clear your mind, and the less things you have cluttered in your life, in your house, in your circles, the less clutter there is in your brain.
When you think about it in just simplistic terms, if you have stuff that you've always had,
Yeah.
the best way, they always say, like, if you give it away, then there's more room in your closet, there's more room in your makeup bag, and more ambition for you to actually get something new. You're not going to buy a new, makeup brush, yet you have all these
3
6 old
others.
brushes
Yeah.
which still work for you.
It's also incentive.
So
Yeah,
does
exactly.
this
Yeah.
minimalism apply to your insults? Like the one you just...
Yes, it does. That's why I've only insulted you once today.
You know what? I
I'm
can't
joking.
with you
All
guys.
right. right, now
No,
let
but
me
seriously
explain. Let me explain why I'm even having this as a conversation.
Yeah.
There's this chick I found on YouTube. She's a dietitian, lifestyle, whatever, all that stuff, right? She's called Sadia. Sadia is doing a 30 days to minimalism thing. And the reason I actually bought into her is because I've been seeing minimalism, but I didn't care too much about it because I'm like, the hippies have started again, right? So a 30-day to minimalism is just basically decluttering your life. So you have different aspects of life that you start with. You start with your clothes, you start with maybe your books, things in your house, in your kitchen, and then your friends. So it's just about all out with the old. If there's new, bring the new in. If there's no new, that's absolutely fine. But it's not about, just getting rid of things. It's about what do you have in your life right now that's doing nothing for you. This whole 30 days minimalism thing, it's not about just getting rid of things because you have to. It's about getting rid of the things you're actually not using.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we all have a lot of those things in our life. Guys, I have found things from 1999. You know what it's ridiculous. Why am I hoarding all this stuff?
I feel
and
like
I don't need it.
And that's somebody who definitely needs to hear
Exactly.
this information.
I know a certain generation of people who are so like
Our
all
parents?
about their memories and all that. Like even if they've not looked at that memory in 10 years and you pull it out, they're like, oh no, don't throw that out. It reminds me
in
of
1880 something,
a sunny day in
Have
April.
a scrapbook. Put it all in one book. But even the holding on to memories, like I think you prioritize which memories mean the most to you. Because I've seen that as well with my guys. I'm a hoarder. I spend my life collecting boxes and random trash.
Yeah, we can attest to that. She does.
I am such a hoarder. But the thing is, I've learned to actually be like, does this make me feel the way it used to make me feel? And if it doesn't really, why am I holding on to it? And then you let go of it. New things are coming into my life. You just make room for newer things. And I think that's something.
But also like the spirit of letting go. Like
Yes.
you
But
mentioned.
let's actually
spirit
also
of
speak
letting
about. You've spoken mostly about like material things, but you also did touch on the whole like people. Because to be honest, there's some people who you're friends with not because you're still friends, but because you were friends like a very long time ago. And then if you look at the way you are now, it's kind of like on top of everything, you grow apart. You're no longer the same person. You no longer have the same. You don't trust each other. You don't have each other's backs. It's like you're just friends for formality.
Yeah.
And for me this year, and I don't want people to hear this, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I decided that, especially when it comes to my friends, I'll just see who reaches out to me. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm not looking, and I actually have told most people, I'm not looking for people this year. If you want me, I work at NBS. You can also follow Kwanza. You can check me out on Instagram.
I know,
There's so many ways to
avenues.
find me.
No, but definitely something you touched on is social media. I feel like social media is partly to blame for people not reaching out. It's weird because it's supposed to connect us, but in a way it isolates us because you think you know what's going on in someone's life because you're like, hey, yeah, I saw, you meet someone after 2 weeks and you're like, first tell me, I saw that you did this and this and this, and then, and the conversation flows like you've been seeing each other, yet really like there's so much underlying stuff that doesn't make it onto the social media platforms, which now brings me back to you, Maritza. Does that also include minimalizing on like social media activity?
Yeah, that's a good
minimalizing. I wouldn't say minimalizing social media activity, but like there's platforms in social media. There's platforms of social media that you're on that you haven't visited in a while, that you probably don't even have friends on.
Oops.
Yeah, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like say you have a Pinterest account you never use. You never even go on Pinterest anymore. Why is it still there? Why are you still subscribed? You get random emails from places you subscribed to in 2011 when your interests were different. Why are you still subscribed? Unsubscribe. You get like it's about decluttering your life.
Yeah, that
and
makes a lot of sense.
And the reason I like she's Sadia. The reason I like Sadia's thing, it's not all of a sudden of okay, today we are cleaning life. No.
It's gradual.
It's gradual. So step by step, like day one, you clean out your clothes. Are there clothes that you still wear? If there are clothes that you still wear but would like to give away, even that's a good thing. Like this outfit has blessed you. Huh? Everyone on Instagram has seen it 500 times. Surely it should be going to someone else's Instagram.
I feel so triggered. Because I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, this dress has come onto this platform way
too many times. So yeah, it's things like that. It's like for me, I think I am learning the art of moving on, you guys.
Yeah.
The art of moving. It's something that you have to
a
learn.
skill that I would like.
It's something you have to learn. And even I feel like when you learn the art of moving on, it's easier to select what you allow in your life and allow to stay in your life, and also what you expose yourself to and allow to stay exposed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you know I can say goodbye anytime. I ain't scared.
So guys, let us know what you think about these topics. You can go down to our comments on our YouTube channel, that is Kwanza UG. Tell us, are you one of those people who believes that male privilege is a thing, or are you one of those people who wants to share a story about how far you went with your sibling, your friend, your parents in being petty, or are you following Maritza's advice to be a minimalist? Tell us how that's going.
And don't forget to click the subscribe button and go and follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. The page is Kwanza UG. Now, me and Maritza had a chance to do some yoga.
Yes. So we had a chance to namaste. So you can namaste on our page, YouTube especially, and check out our next video, which will be a very, very special session with a yoga instructor called TheeNinjaC. It was nice and zen and calm.
Yeah, no, it was nothing nice and zen and calm. It was amazing.
It was a workout.
It was amazing, but I didn't expect to sweat.
Really?
I didn't.
I thought I was makes you sweat.
Cynthia.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is
sweated.
why I was not present, because I have done yoga and my limbs can only go so many ways
What is this?
before I break down.